Hey, it's D. It's a brand new episode coming right for you, right on the FTO network. Enjoy. How's it going, guys? D here with FTO Podcast. Got a really loaded episode this week. If you guys saw the title, you know exactly what's going to be talked about this week. A lot of stuff has happened this week. Most of it is with DC Entertainment Universe. James Gunn and Peter Safran are changing some things around there, and a lot of the fans out there are not excited. The Snyder Bros are very upset. Some of the casual DC fans are not happy. I'm one of them, so it's a lot to talk about, a whole list of things to get into. I got like my list in front of me. No, let me be honest. I don't have my list like completely in front of me, so... But there's a lot to talk about. First up to talk about is Angela Bassett is now a Golden Globe nominee again. The first in the MCU for this category, which is supporting actress. And I gotta say congrats to her, because this is awesome. Supporting role, she played Ramonda in Wakanda Forever. This is deserved. Let's put it that way. This is well-deserved, well-needed. She earned this role completely. I'm very glad to see her get this win, this nomination win, and I'm really happy to see Wakanda Forever is like still getting some nods. It's a Golden Globes, so you know it's not the Oscars. But those of you that follow award ceremonies know that like this is usually the first step into the Oscar category. So I'm going to run this out for those who don't know how like the Oscars and like the Golden Globe thing works. It's usually kind of like how like the presidential election works. So you got like a people who bid for you, who put your name into a ballot, and like you and a list of other actors in different movies and categories also get like submitted. And it's up to people that campaign for you to get like your name put not only in the Golden Globes, but also in the Oscars. So her being nominated in this role is a good start for that to get her kickstarted into like the Oscar world. But if she wins a Golden Globe for this, it's undoubtable that she's also going to be inside of the Oscar category as well. So Wakanda Forever may be seen again at the Oscars. And I'm here for it. MCU twice with Wakanda. I don't think Ryan Coogler is going anywhere. I just posted this little goof about who would you want to see switch from MCU to DCEU, and like what properties would they direct in your eyes? And someone said Ryan Coogler for Static Shock, which, as cool as that sounds, I don't think that's going to be plausible anytime soon. So that's just wishful thinking pretty much. Next story is going to be Patty Jenkins push back on the Wonder Woman report, saying that she never walked away from the Wonder Woman 3 movie. She was pushed out of the Wonder Woman 3 movie, and she was apparently pushed out simply because the script was not what Peter Safran and James Gunn wanted it to be. And I got to tell you, that's a little weird. That because I'm one of the few people who did like the Wonder Woman 1984. Yeah, it had like its problems, but what DC film did not have its problems? I thought that the Wonder Woman 84 movie had a lot of heart, had a lot of guts, had a lot of like thoughtful moments inside of it, and where like the slow pacing made it drag, the story really made it catch up, and like it really piggybacked off the first film. I think a lot of folks wanted it to be an MCU film, which it was nowhere near being. I thought it was a bit of a hallmark towards the first movie, but you know what? That's me talking. It really does suck that Wonder Woman 3 is not happening, because I would really like to see Patty Jenkins do her thing with the Wonder Woman franchise, like for one last time. But with this Flash movie coming out, Ezra Miller getting their last film, it seems like it's going to be a reboot. So they're going to reboot this entire franchise. So that we got more of that to come later on, though. Next up, the ballerina. The Walking Dead Norman Reedus is joining the John Wick spinoff television show. We already know that a few people from the John Wick film is going to be inside of this. But more importantly, John Wick, Keanu Reeves himself is going to be inside of this new TV show. Ruska Roma is going to be inside of it, played by Angelica Husson. You got Lance Reddick a part of it as well. You got Ian McShane going to be a part of this also. So now you also got Norman Reedus a part of this. And I think that's pretty cool to have Regis part, especially considering this is like not a part of the whole thing that we're talking about on this episode. But they recently just talked about today that there's going to be a Death Stranding movie being made by the same people that made the Barbarian movie. So Regis is going to be very busy after his departure from The Walking Dead and getting a kickstart on the John Wick franchise. The new television show that's kicking off is not a bad start. Next up, we got Netflix cancels The Warrior Nun after 2 seasons. Now, I watched the first season. I thought it was going to get canceled after the first season because it's just such a wacky show. But it didn't get canceled. It got renewed for a second season. But now it officially is canceled. And, like, that's that. I mean, the show from the first season had a lot of, I wouldn't say problems, but like a lot of story pacing. Not that like what we got to see was bad, but like the kickstarting that they were trying to like get to the point of the story was like kind of all over the place, and certain points they got kind of convoluted in the first season. Again, I haven't watched the second season, so like maybe they picked some of those parts up, but like it seemed like the story was grander than what they could show us. It felt like it was building up to this big battle between like demons and angels, and it couldn't get to that point in the first season. I guess it didn't get there in the second season either. It felt like a bit stale at times, but now like it doesn't matter because it's canceled. So like for Warrior Nun fans out there, I'm sorry that it's canceled, but yeah, it's 2 seasons and it's over. I do think this show's gonna go down in history as like one of those test shows that shows that even smaller indie comic book companies can like at least do a good decent run for a television show. Looking at you, Midnight Comics, I want to see your TV show out there on Netflix as well. Let's see what happens. Next up, Studio Ghibli. Hayao Miyazaki, new film, Nav's release date. That release date is July 14th. I'm not exactly sure what this subject is going to be about. Miyazaki did leave. He retired for a while, but now he's back. And it's currently like, How Do You Live is the name of it. So I'm interested to see how this is going to play out. Like, Studio Ghibli never disappoints. But Miyazaki, man, like a part of it, that's like the big interesting part right there. It's Miyazaki's a part, like a Studio Ghibli film. So what is that even going to look like visually? What's it going to look like? So I don't know, man. That's trippy. That's also history. Like a lot of things are changing for 2023 and 2024. So like, wow. That's really like, and like it's July 14th, 2023, not July 14th, 2024 when it's coming out. So this is next year. This is going to be coming out for everyone. Like, so that's really interesting to see. I do have like some tidbits of information that's out there for you all to check out. Let me see if I can get to it because I did kind of my pacing is off for this episode. I usually have all this stuff together, but like I've been posting more new stuff out there, and I've been kind of getting like kind of trotted with a lot of the stuff that I've been putting out. But one of the interesting things is James Gunn recently said that Henry Cavill is out as Superman. After recently, we were just told that he was in. He was in The Sting. The Sting is like the last part of the film of the Black Adam movie. And now the Black Adam's not doing so well, apparently. And Henry Cavill is out. It may also be seen as The Rock. Black Adam is also out because it only made like, I think about $200 million in the box office. Close to that globally, mind you. So, it says there's going to be a young Superman going to be taking over without Cavill. So they're restarting the whole thing. I feel a way about this. Like, a major way. And it's concerning. I'm not going to lie to you. It really is. It's really concerning, like, the takeaway from all of this. And DC is really getting on my nerves right now. Like, I can't, like, really jump on an MCU bandwagon because I don't like what they do. James Gunn isn't the strongest writer. He's also not the strongest director in my eyes. He's kind of repetitive in what he does. He's kind of like, childish at certain times too. And I really don't want to get involved with like the sophistication that DC brings to. I know how I sound saying this. It sounds like a snob Bob. I get that. But like DC, they're gods. And like most of them see themselves as a god or royalty. And like they have like an air about them. Much different than the Marvel characters. And like I don't want to like be like an ass by saying it, but like that's how they see themselves. Like they really see themselves like more as a prim and proper royalty type who decides to do good for humans and the civilization that they're a part of. Much different than the Marvel who are forced into being a superhero. And I feel like that's what Gunn is going to bring to this DC universe. Like that they're going to be forced into being superheroes. And like, I don't care for that aesthetic. I like to say that these heroes choose to be superheroes, but like, I guess that's not believable. So whatever, I guess we'll see what happens with this. I still think that like that Gunn has been reading Earth 1 Superman, and that's his whole take on all it. Like he's going to get Earth 1 Superman, and like he didn't want to be a superhero, but he was kind of forced to be a superhero because there was an alien invasion, and we're going to get like a big slug out battle with aliens, and that's that. But we'll see. Next up, God of War TV series is a go at Amazon. If you watched my TikTok, you saw this video. This is cool. I hope they bring Christopher Judge to do the voice of Kratos. This is like from the God of War 2018 that they're taking the inspiration from. So we're going to skip past all the other God of War where he's in Greece and go right into the Norse version of Kratos and go from there. So we'll see how this plays out because I am apprehensive about this. I'm not saying this like because I don't really think that Amazon can pull it off. It just, as most gamers would tell you, the games themselves are a cinematic feature. Like Last of Us, like that's a movie in itself. Death Stranding, that's a movie in itself. Even like the new Tomb Raider, which may be probably kind of getting a TV show pretty soon also. And so is like Horizon Forbidden West, also a TV show. Those things are already like featured to be in a format that's movie or television wise. Like to sit through and understand like the pacing of it and like to consume as a television show. And like, I get it, but will it be stale or just be repetitive? It's hard to really figure out. I don't know. It could be like Uncharted again, which did not fare well amongst fans, So, but superhero stuff doing their things, and it's time for video games to do their thing. 'Cause I think that's the new saving grace for the cinema is video games. We'll see what happens. I think Assassin's Creed has a TV show coming out too. So, and lastly with the news, a sad tragic loss this week. Steven Twitch boss has passed away from suicide. This is the second known celebrity suicide that we know of. Like the first was Jason David Frank, and like you never know what someone's going through, as most people say when something like this happens. I personally don't know what to say about a situation like this. Like I grapple with my mental illness. I grapple with my sadness and depression and anxiety. But this happened. He had 3 kids. This is sad, man. Like it's a lot to digest and swallow. Like his whole brand was happiness, and I don't know. Like I've been kind of like feeling weird since I heard about this. Like his whole thing was like dance and be happy and smile, and like what happened to him, and it's hard like to digest. You know what I mean? So if you are feeling any type of way about yourself when it comes to feelings like this, please talk with somebody. Please talk with someone. Find like a number to call, find a person to chat with, and like please get like the recommended like assistance that you need for your mental well-being. And with all that being said, I'm gonna take a break and we'll be right back.
What's going on, guys? My name is Nemo, and you probably know me as Who Is Nemo on TikTok. And I just want to take some time out today to talk about a very special podcast. Now, that podcast is fto-nerd-talks. Now, FTO is a podcast that gives you daily updates on all things pop culture. So if you're into anime, manga, comic books, TV shows, movies, and all that good stuff, FTO is the podcast for you. Now, I know what you're all thinking. There are so many podcasts out there that already do the same thing, and I'm about to tell you why FTO is so special. Now, FTO is so special because they emphasize on Black nerd culture. Not only that, if you like to be interactive with your favorite content creators, FTO is the special podcast for you. Now, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you just want to state your opinion about a certain project, they will engage with you. So if you haven't already, please go follow FTO Nerd Talks on all social media platforms. And if you haven't already, please do me a favor, follow them on Apple Music and Spotify so you don't miss out on their weekly podcasts. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.
And we are back. That was a good needed break. I really need like to breathe a little bit after that story. It was a little touch and go for that story, that last one there. But things to check out. Who doesn't love things to check out? Cool movies, TV shows, all that stuff, video games out this week. November 9th, the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio came out November 9th. I know it's a little bit late. I didn't talk about it for a while, but it's here. The synopsis is Guillermo del Toro reinvents Carlos Collodi's classic tale of a wooden marionette who is magically brought to life in order to mend the heart of a grieving woodcarver named Geppetto. This whimsical stop-motion musical directed by Guillermo del Toro and Marc Gaston follows the mischievous and disobedient adventures of Pinocchio in his pursuit of a place in the world. This is Netflix. The genre is long. It's a drama, fantasy, animation, family musical. It's not rated. The runtime is hour and 117 minutes long. This is a long film. All right. Check it out. Let me know what you think. I'm really interested to hear what people think about this. Next up is The Whale. The Whale came out December 9th of this year. It's the synopsis reads, a reclusive English teacher, played by Brendan Fraser, living with severe obesity, attempts to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter for one last time at redemption. This is a drama. It's also not rated. It's also 117 minutes. Directed by Darren Aronofsky and written by Samuel D. Hunter. I got a cast this time. Brendan Fraser, Hung Chow, Chuck Milner, Ryan Heike, Sadie Sink, Samantha Morton, and many others. So there you go. Next up is Avatar, The Way of the Water. I think of the date of this being recorded, you will have the opportunity to actually see this because it comes out December 16th, which is the day it's going to drop, I believe. I think this is the day this is going to drop. Yeah, the day this is going to drop. So you'll be able to watch it by then. The synopsis reads, set more than a decade after the event of the first film, 10 years really, Avatar: The Way of the Water begins to tell the story of the Sully family, Jake, Natiri, and their kids, the trouble that follows them, the lengths they go to keep each other safe, the battle they fight to stay alive, and the tragedies they endure. It's an action-adventure, sci-fi, thriller, fantasy by 20th Century Fox. It's 192 minutes long. That's almost, wow, that's a long-ass movie. Jeez. So buckle up and brace yourself for that one. Directed by James Cameron. I only have like two of the writers, Amanda Silver and James Cameron. I don't have any in the cast right now. Apologies for that one. The games to check out. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion for the PC. It's also on the PlayStation 4, 5, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Came out December 13th. I'm not going to read this entire synopsis because it is long. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is a fully remaster of the PlayStation Portable exclusive Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, which originally launched back in 2007. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is a true remaster that followed the original narrative, Zack Fair's mission to find the missing soldier Genesis Rhapsodos. We'll work on that in the future. It features multiple improvements from the original game. For example, the graphics have been converted to HD and all 3D models from the characters. That's interesting. This is from Square Enix, of course. It's a role-playing action RPG. No online multiplayer for this one. Rated T for teens. I need to play this one. I need to talk. I think Anton Six is playing this. I need to talk to him on the next episode of Table Cheese, see what he thinks about Crisis Core. I know in the next episode, it's going to be dropping on Saturday. He talks a little bit about it, but I need to go more extensive. So make sure you listen to Table Cheese every episode to see what Anton Six thinks about the games that we pick out, because sometimes we talk about the games that I talk about on this show. Next up is Kindred. Season 1 came out December 13th. This is a show I'm really interested in watching. Young black aspiring writer Dana, played by Mallory Johnson, has just moved to Los Angeles when she is suddenly pulled back into the 1800s and a plantation that has ties to her family in this adaptation of the Octavia E. Butler's novel of the same name. This is a drama science fiction. It's on Hulu. I am really interested in watching this show. I'm very pensive about watching it right now, because if I watch it, everybody, I'm gonna have comments. I'm gonna be leaving spoilers. So I want to watch it on the binge, but I don't know, man. It's like the show also scares me a little bit, but it has it's Butler. It's like a Butler TV show. So I don't know, man. I'm hyping myself up about this, but I shouldn't hype myself up about it, because I just go out and watch it. It's on Hulu. Just go watch it. The Witcher, Blood Origin Season 1 comes out on December 25th of all times. Isn't that weird? I know it's a little bit jump in the future for this one, but it's in the category. I figured I should talk about it. Maybe I'll talk about it again in the future. But the synopsis reads as follows. The 6-part prequel to The Witcher set 1,200 years before Geralt of Rivia tells the story of the first Witcher and the events that led to the conjunction of the spheres. This only has 1 season so far. It's a drama, movie miniseries, action adventure, fantasy, and science fiction. It is exclusively on Netflix. I gotta watch it. It has Michelle Yeoh inside of it, so gonna be watching that one. No hype on that one. No hype on that one. Next up, and I think this is lastly, is National Treasure, Edge of History. Season 1 comes out December 14th. Came out, if you're listen to this the day of, came out yesterday. The synopsis reads, 20-year-old Jess Valenzuela, played by Leslie Alexis, searches for answers about her deceased father and a lost treasure with the help of her friends in this television series that expands the National Treasure film franchise. This is literally like a spin-off of the movie. It is a drama adventure. It's exclusively on Disney Plus, and it's out now. So get a chance to watch it. If you're a fan of that franchise, here you go. Time to check it out. Ooh, now time for my favorite part of the show is comics to read. First up is, these all came out December 14th. These all came out like New Comic Book Wednesday, so, bear with me with all of this. This is from Marvel Comic Books, Deadpool issue number 2, Comrades at Arms and Arms and Arms. 8 arms to kill you. Deadpool has less than 24 hours to kill Dr. Octopus if he wants into the most elite assassin alliance in the world. Can Doc Ock block a cock-blocked... These synopses for Deadpool, I tell you. Can Doc Ock block a cock Glock, or will he be defeated and slain by Wade's blades? And also, what's that thing hanging out of Wade's chest? Who wrote this synopsis? This is Legacy issue number 327. I didn't know Deadpool been going that long. Wow. It's written by Alyssa Wong, artist by Martin Coquelin. This sounds hilarious. I gotta check this out. I saw this because the cover was epic, super cool. So yeah, I definitely gotta change this. This synopsis just hilarious. Batgirl issue 13, Vice versus Part 2. Batgirl, Steph, and Cassie were taken off guard when they were captured by their own parents while magically swapped inside of each other's bodies. What? And the 2022 annual, and now it's time for them to take their power back and do their own confronting, but sometimes it's easier to kick butt than it is to talk about feelings, especially when those feelings hit close to home. Lady Shiva and Cluemaster seems to want to make amends with their daughters, but if the girls know anything, if nothing is ever what it seems. What? That's wow. 13 issues. Look at that. They're going pretty hardcore. Doesn't meet up with their parents. The Lady Shiva fan, they're going to go nuts. Writer is Becky Cloonan, and other writer is Michael Conrad. Artist is Jonathan Case, and the cover art that I picked for this movie is by Dan Mora because it looks gorgeous. Dan Mora, keep doing you, man. You're great. Next up is Grimm. From Boom Studios. Still trapped in Las Vegas, Jessica, Eddie, and Marcel encounter a fabulous twist of mythical Greek figures, as well as someone with the authority to get them out of their fantasmalous dilemma. What's their dilemma? Issue number 6. Ooh. Written by Stephanie Phillips. Artist and cover by Falavino Armentiro. Interesting. The cover looks pretty cool, though. If you guys check out this cover, it's boss. It's boss. Next up, I Am Batman by DC Comics Books, issue number 16, Motherless Child, Part 1. Though the Fox family has always excelled at keeping secrets from one another, seemingly random acts of violence set them on collision course with a painful truth in which there may be no reconciliation. Ooh, that sounds spooky. Writer is John Ridley. Cover artist is Christian Deuce, and the cover is spooky. Like more like family haunting spooky, but spooky. Really cool. Next up is Dark Crisis, Big Bang, issue number 1 by DC Comics. After the monumental events in Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 4, Pariah has successfully resurrected the Infinite Multiverse and all their realities are still reeling from the events. Dark Crisis Big Bang is a haunting journey through these newly reformed realities, from the Jurassic League to DC mech of the Dark Knights of Steel to Batman 89 and back again in a guest star galore, all new epic by comic legend and DC architect Mark Waid. Well, that was a mouthful. Wow. Really like jammed all that into one synopsis though. Good for them. Of course, written by Mark Waid, penciler by Dan Jurgen. That guy's suspect. But yeah, the art is great. The cover art is by Mikel Janin. If you, that man can draw a Batman, can't he? My goodness. Just makes, like in a Nightwing, just makes you want to swoon. I think Freddie Williams, the second, also did a variant cover. It's not a variant cover, so it doesn't, because like it's big. I think how many pages was this? It is, the page count is unknown to me. My apologies. I shouldn't have said anything. Next up by Marvel Comic Books is Invincible Iron Man issue number 1, the autobiographic of Tony Stark, chapter 1. It all ends. Tony Stark, the genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, has lost it all. His wealth, his fame, his friends, and so much more. I had to see if I was still recording. I was a little worried. And the Stark doesn't realize he still has so much more to lose, especially when the assassin starts to come for him. It's the beginning of the end, as a Golden Avenger must fight for his life and find what it really means to hit rock bottom. Join Jerry Dugan of X-Men and Juan Figueroa of Avengers as they take Iron Man to the darkest corners of the Marvel Universe. This is a legacy issue of 651. Really? Of Iron Man? Iron Man's gone longer than that. I have a variant cover from John Romita Jr. Whew. I'm not really a big fan of Romita most of the time, but my goodness, this is a good cover. Of course, it's written by I already said, Dugan and Figueroa. So there's that. And of course, you can't talk about comic books without talking about this one comic in particular, because my goodness, yes, and thank you, and keep doing your thing. Marvel Comic Books, Monica Rambeau, Photon, issue number 1. I definitely got to pick up this issue. I'm going to go to my comic book shop locally, take a picture of me holding this comic book. If I buy it, we'll see what happens. It's got to be like, what? It's $4. I should get this damn comic book. 28 pages. Higher, further, faster. Universal powerhouse Monica Rambeau stars in her very own all-new adventure. The hero known as Photon has been charged with making a very special, very cosmic delivery. Should be light work. Get it? For Monica, if family drama doesn't hold her back. You get to know her family is? That's cool. The writer is, of course, Eve Ewing, who did the amazing Ironheart comic book. If you haven't read the Ironheart by Eve Ewing, you are missing out, because it's such a fun read. She really like gets into her characters. Like she really like puts like a lot of personality into her characters. So reading like her doing Monica Rambeau, yes. Artist is by Ivan Fiorilli. Apologies. Luca Marcella is also artist. The colorist is Carlos Lopez. There's a lot of variant covers. They went all out with the variant artists. I'll see if I can round some of them out for you. Lucas Wernick, Dean White, Lucio Parello, Brian Stelfreeze, Norm Brickfogley. I'm butchering these names. Chris Peter, Peach Momoko, Mateus Manhani, Karen as Darbo. Oh, wow, I'm going to stop before I'm ahead. But that is your comic books to read, comics to check out. That's almost a full episode. But you know what? As every episode goes, I like to talk about what I'm doing, how you're doing, because you can always leave me comments. Like whenever I post like the episode inside of my post, which I post everywhere, I'm going to start trying to leave like a little clippets of the podcast in audio form so you can listen to those too. I haven't worked that out yet, so bear with me as I go through the next progress that it's supposed to be taking. But I had a rough week this week. My week, I take energy drinks to keep myself going. I work out. I take care of my kids. The living transition that's still going on. Following the news. Following like the comic book and nerd news. Trying to grow FTO. Trying to grow myself. Trying to learn personal growth. All that stuff. It takes a toll. So for 2 days, I was out of commission. Still doing my whole dad thing. But you know what? I can only do me for so long. And I feel like I'm kind of imploded on myself for a little bit. But I'm doing a little bit better today, as you can hear. This isn't like, a cop. I swear, I'm doing fine. I haven't wrote in my journal. which is disappointing. I needed to get back on writing on my journal. I was supposed to work tonight, doing like one of my jobs. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I do need like to change some progress of my automobile before I get back to my residence. But before that, I had to talk with you guys, do an episode, because I missed you. I miss all of you. I miss doing these podcasts. I've been on it for like 6-7 months now straight, and I'm proud of myself. Yes, I have been missing out on the Twitter ones. The Twitter is a little bit different because people like to chime in, and I'm not really good at that. But I told myself I should probably start doing like a weekend roundup, like audio podcast, like pick like 2 stories, make it like half an hour, like this one here, and just like talk about the week stuff. I do kind of do that with Table Cheese, but I wouldn't mind getting like a co-host for something like that. But I feel like I need like to change like my everything before I get into that feel. But I wouldn't mind having a co-host of doing the weekly roundup and like just talking about 2 or 3 stories and just focusing on those and making a video probably. So maybe like, hey, YouTube, you want me to go live more? There you go. So you have to see me live doing like was it Streamlab? I think it's called. I think it's Streamlab. And like doing that and just going live, putting on Twitch, all those different places. You know what I mean? So who knows? That may be my future. I don't know. Probably. It needs to happen. I do need like to do a weekly roundup show, and I talk with the audience more often and like grow myself in that way. But you know what? I realized something this year. It took me this long to realize this, that it rushing yourself to be something that like you are not ready to be is no point. Like, it really just going to make you upset. It's going to, like, drag you down. You're not going to feel good about yourself. It's just going to be, like, one big punch in the gut. So, take your time. Do things your way. Have fun with it. And just, like, you know, it's going to come. Because right now, I feel more confident now than I did 2 years ago. Like, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, doing this podcast. And, like, if you guys go back to those old episodes, they were not pleasant. Like, me going solo by myself was not a pleasant run most times. And right now, I feel very confident with what I'm doing. Like, it may not be 100% where I want it to be, but I'm doing it. You know, I'm doing it. I'm having like my good time doing this. The hustle with the social media could be delegated, mind you, but I'm doing that too, I suppose. Like, I focus on maybe 3 or 4 platforms to work on, and like I go from there. It is tedious. It is taxing. Growing the base of people to see you is not an easy task. Exercise helped though. I'll say that. Exercise has helped. Replying to the comments, putting people on a pedestal, like they need to be put on a pedestal, can sometimes wane on you after a while. But like, you know what? It's not about me. It took me a while to realize like it's not about me, like that put these people out there. It's about like them needing to be seen, and like the world needs to see them, because like as I will continuously keep on saying, no matter how many times we see representation of black and brown people in media, it still needs to be seen. It does. It still needs to be seen, and I do my best to put them out there. Like we need to be seen. We need to be seen like in like our natural environment, like the indie artists, the unknown artists, the artists who are struggling like to make a name for themselves. And like I have like put people out there like who have grown to be success. And like I don't know if like I had any part in that. It doesn't really matter if I did or not. But I'm glad to see people grow. And that's all that really matters. Like to see like I see someone who's starting out doing their thing and like they flourished, become like something like that they are proud of, like that they have made for themselves. And like I wouldn't change that for anything, man. Like, you guys want to be fucking great? Be great. It's the swear of the show. You want to swear of the show right there. Towards the end. Gosh, I love doing that. Doing that helps me stop cursing on air so much, because I used to curse all the time. Oh, man. Talking about the MCU. The DCEU is waning on me. James Gunn is doing some things that rightfully I did ask for, but the way it's happening is a little terrifying. And for those of you who say this, like, oh, he's getting terrified by, like, you know, television, movie news, that's weird. Man, I follow politics. I follow, like, all news services, CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC. I follow, like, Vox, Now This. I follow a lot of different news associates, like, of talking about different things all the time. And, like, I feel the same way I feel about, like, the tragedies that happen I see there. It's the same thing I transition to, like the nerd stuff. It's the same stuff. I feel the same way. There is no disconnect for me. It's all connected to me, because at the end of the day, like, it all matters to me, and that's what matters. So As I always say, you can't really escape from stuff if you're not taking part in it. So it all feels the same to me. So yeah, this is terrifying to me. The DCEU, what's happening, is terrifying. Like, I got 4 Batman tattoos. Like, I may be, as some people may say, biased when it comes to this, but I'm not. Like, I loved all comic books. Like, all. I started with Marvel. Spider-Man was my guy growing up. Like, my first, like superhero crush was Spider-Man. That was my first go-to. And then Robin. That, like, you know, again, remember, I was like 12, 13 at this time. Like it grew from Marvel to DC. Like most comic book fans growing up would tell you, like, they took breaks from Marvel. They went to DC. Or they took breaks from DC, went to Marvel. And then, like, when Image started doing their thing, like, they took breaks and went there for a while. Some of them stayed in Image. Some of them came back, went to Marvel. Then went back to DC. Like, it's a whole thing. And I feel like that's what's going to happen here pretty soon with this new DCEU. They're going to be fans take breaks from Marvel, go hang out with DC for a while, take a break from DC, go hang out with Marvel. And that's going to be like the normal, which isn't a bad thing. It's not. But, like, I do favor DC because, like, that is, like, where in my adult age, in my 40 years of life, like, that's my wiggle room. I do still love Marvel. Marvel does, like, have, like, some quirks that I'm not really fond of right now. Like, they getting a little too commercial for my like. But, you know, it's all comics. I do want to get back on the train of reading Marvel pretty soon. I feel like with this whole James Gunn thing going on, like, it may push me more back into Marvel, like, reading the comic books. And I feel like I want to say that Marvel comes are, like, fizzling out, but, like, we just had a story today about how one of the actors just got nominated for a Golden Globe. So I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So I'm wrong on that one. But it's cool. It's all part of nerdom. I do think video games would probably be, like, the next thing to really go, oh my goodness, it's everywhere. Which is also not a bad thing. So we'll see what happens. Like, I'll still be here to talk about it. Like, you know, I want to talk about more about board games and, like, some card games. Marvel Snap is still crushing it. I'm at, like, 800 level on Marvel Snap. And I have no shame about that. I love this game. This game is so fun. Like, who doesn't love a good card game, right? And, like, it's fast paced. But the good news is it's going to be expanded to, like, 10 moves. Whoo-wee. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. When they actually make cards for this, oh my goodness. Like, it's going to be like a dungeon master. Who's going to, like, it got to be like an automated, like, location pads, which would be even cooler. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine that? Like an automated pad, like, that changes locations after every turn. Oh man, that'd be so cool. That'd be a good Christmas gift. If you don't play Marvel Snap, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. But like imagine like in the game, I'll explain it to you as bare as I can. The game gives you 3 different locations. And the 3 different locations have, like, abilities that you can do within each location. Like, you can not have any powers in this one. You can't play a card in certain ones. You can have your powers doubled. You have an extra level that you get to play. Because, like, each game has, like, 6 rounds. Like, sometimes you get, like, an extra round to play. And this is so cool. And, like, if you get, like those little platforms or locations, they would have to be automated. Like a little, like, tablet pad. And it would know when a turn is over because it gives you a time limit. And, like, you would tap, like, a button, like, to say when your turn is over. And you play your cards, which you have to buy, which I'm all for buying. Because, like, you get 12 cards a game. And I gotta tell you, these cards are pretty cool. They are so cool. They're very comic authentic. I love it. I'm rambling, but I love it. If you haven't played Marvel Snap, let me know. The PvP is coming out soon, so I can, like, to find the name of the person that I know and destroy their deck and go crazy. It's gonna be fun. I love competition. Like, I think that's part of the reason why I have not got myself a game console, because I don't want to have to play games with my kids and, like, be very competitive with them. I don't want that they don't need to see that side of me yet. They need to get a little bit older, then they can see, like, the competitive dad, because I can't be like, yeah, son, take that. I can't be doing that to my kids. Not right now. They gotta get a little bit older. Get a little bit more, how do I put this? A little bit more strong-willed before I started doing stuff like that. Because it's like dancing and pointing fingers. And I'm like, I did it. I beat you. Can't have that. Can't be that dad. Not right now. They still think I'm the coolest guy in the world. Little do they know. I'm an ass. I'm joking. This has been fun. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. Until next time, you guys take it easy. Hey guys, D here of fto-nerd-talk. I hope you enjoy the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about fto-nerd-talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.